Hey everybody, welcome back to the Great and Terrible Ass. Is that what we're going? Is that what we're going with? If we enunciate it enough, we can get away with it, right?
I was thinking Oz, but yeah, but you know.
Sorry, I just read it as ass.
I mean,
that's all I got.
Ass is specifically very relevant for this specific episode. So for this episode, it can be ass.
Yeah, a lot of ass in this episode. That's a good point.
In the first 35
35
seconds of the episode, I might add.
You know, and
spoilers, another guy jerking off. Sorry, I have to drop that now. Just because, like, hey, heads up, there's another guy jerking. They did it again. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. We are over a 50% rate of episodes that have a guy jerking it on camera versus not.
Jerk off jump scare.
Jerk off jump scare.
I even time-stamped it. We see butt cheeks at 48 seconds into the episode. We fully see butt cheeks at 48 seconds in.
So, amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. The episode starts with
Rosie.
Something just completely unrelated to fucking anything.
Yeah, complete non sequitur. Rosie
Yep.
is having a dream about being buried alive, you know. Her husband's banging her in bed, and then but then she's getting buried alive, but then she realized she conquered her phobia, so now she's in therapy. She's actually in therapy, it's revealed, telling her therapist, who's the same therapist that Allie has, and her husband's there too. But anyway, she conquers her phobia, and the dream becomes her banging her husband in grass, and he's naked,
butt cheeks out,
and his butt's right in the camera. There you go. That's therapy.
Congratulations to her for conquering her phobia.
Some of you may be thinking to yourselves right now, gee, I haven't seen this show. I don't remember them mentioning a character named Rosie. And that, dear listener, is because there is no character named Rosie until right this very second. She's also only in the show for a good 35 seconds.
Yes. Go for it.
Her name is almost completely inconsequential, so don't like store it into your memory or anything like that. But yeah, it is Allie's therapist. And they spend a little bit of time talking about how she got over her very specific phobia of being buried alive in a coffin, to which she's taking this therapy session with her husband for some reason. I don't know, maybe that's pretty common. But he basically is like, hey, honey, remember?
No, not a chance. Nope, not happening.
Literally, she's like, I'm so proud I got over my phobia of being buried alive in a coffin. And then her husband's like, hey, honey, remember that very, very specific triggering incident that caused you to develop this phobia?
She's just like, oh yeah, it's my fear of caskets and coffins and being buried alive. And then the psychiatrist gives it the specific name, which is sure, why not? They sure. The fear of being buried alive, in my opinion, is, depending on your vicinity to a casket and people who want you in it, either very unreasonable or completely reasonable. Like, really a sliding scale, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah, just mentions it, and then she's like, it feels really silly that like I have it, and then her husband's just like, yeah, probably because your fuckhole dad locked you in a cabinet a bunch, huh?
And then she gets triggered and has a flashback about it.
Yeah,
which is super fucked up.
Locked in the cabinet, and he's just like, you remember that, right, honey?
I have one thing to say about this before, like, just because also the therapist, like, you did the hard work of it. Remember when you went to his funeral and closed the lid on his coffin and you walked over the graveyard and stepped into the mortuary? And I'm like, wait a second, so you had the therapy session just when your father, who, like, died, like, that timing happened to be there, and you had to do this, like, obstacle course of, like, going into the mortuary and the graveyard? Like, the therapist had all this planned? What? Anyway.
The therapist was super excited that he finally gets a chance to do, like, exposure therapy for this one specific, very, very specific scenario.
Exactly. But
it's true. Whenever he gets a chance, he's just like, hell yeah. Like, as soon as Allie was like, I'm afraid of clusters of holes, he's like, you mean like these?
I have to get some snakes to throw at my 3 o'clock. Excuse me. But they go home, and they're about to have some romance time. her and the husband, but the husband needs something to make himself more comfortable or something, and he walks off.
Yeah, I thought like the idea was supposed to be that like for some reason the dream like was keeping her from making intimacy because she would freak out and start hallucinating
like
being buried alive or something.
Claustrophobic if he was laying on top of her, I think is the
thing.
This subplot's not viable enough for anything though, because we're 90% through it. Because, like...
Yeah, I was going to say, good news, everybody. If you're already sick of hearing us talk about Rosie's whole shit, good news. She's going to die.
You'll never guess how.
Yeah, guess what? They were getting ready to bone, and the husband goes in the other room, and then you just hear screaming, and oh no, the clowns are here. Bring in the clowns.
Yep, and
here comes the clowns.
I don't know how the clowns...
They brought
I don't know how
big-ass caskets that no one saw.
Right. They bought them, they moved them into a house through all the doors and everything, because caskets aren't that big, and just, like, put them right in and nailed them shut. Oh... Take that, Rosie and her husband.
And yeah, they're screaming the whole time. And all I'm sitting here thinking is like, this is simply too convenient. I can't stand it. I can't stand the convenience of this crime. Like, how do they know their specific fear? Why did they bring their specific fear and kill them with it? How did they get it in? How did they get caskets? Do you know how fucking expensive caskets are? Because I do. It's a lot. They cost a lot. So there's like a lot of open ends here.
And also, like, the clowns, I just want to say, for only having 3 episodes, the clowns do a lot of sexy shit, as in fucking and jerking off, but every time someone else is trying to bang, they are not about it. Anytime someone else is about to bang, they're like, absolutely not. Absolutely no.
This was a very respectful burying someone alive, but, very serious work. So, should we get to the next scene?
So that's the title card drops and we do the whole titles and it's the same, and then we go to Allie and Ivy talking to cops, talking to one cop in specific. And he tells her, don't worry about it, Michigan has stand your ground laws, and so it's fine, and we're gonna cover for you, and it's fine, just say what we tell you to say and you'll be fine, basically. Not how San Diego shooting someone outside on your lawn. If a delivery guy comes up to your door, you can't shoot him in the head and be like, I was standing my ground. No.
Also, the power's back on, in case you guys forgot. The power was taken out by, and I quote, a 8-state-wide terrorist attack that took out the power of 8 states, which you'd think would be, kind of a big deal. And nope, that's just the power's back on, and that's all that really mattered. But to that point, they mentioned the power coming back on, and Allie says, we're under attack by ISIS and the clowns, as if the clowns are on par with ISIS, which I think is a very funny comparison. But then they never mentioned the power going out with the 8-state-wide EMP ever again.
Ivy also, I think, kind of gave her a look after the clowns, like, again with this. But, I think, too, like, I mean, the 8-state terrorism thing was something Harrison told her, right? Like, we never got it confirmed on the news, and nobody was, like, talking about it,
At the very least, the power has clearly been out for, like, multiple hours, though. Like, the cop says it was out, too, and, like, the restaurant power is still out. Yeah, it was, like, pretty notable. And they just kind of... It just happens.
I don't know. Even if it was just something that they were saying to, like, lie to Allie about, or, like, to, like, freak everybody out. Like, you'd think that Allie would be... If someone told me that 8 states' powers had gone out and I got power back, the first thing I'd be doing would be, like, looking for information as to what the fuck that was about, because that could potentially be bad. Like, maybe some kind of follow-up. Also, it's very important to note that, remember the gun that Allie shot the guy with? That's a gun that nobody knew about. And I was just like, oh, you had a secret gun, huh? And you used it to shoot my employee? That's fine. It's fine. It's probably fine.
As long as you're okay.
Also, the cop is like, oh, you shot someone with a firearm you don't own and isn't registered to you, and this person is now being openly hostile to you and, like, thinks you're racist for... Spoilers, thinks you're racist for shooting someone, so, like, they probably wouldn't be behind you on this, and thus would, like... report you having stolen their gun and murdered someone with it, maybe? And the cop's just kind of like, way to stand your ground, champ.
You did good. You did good.
So Allie is driving Ivy to work at the old restaurant, and lo and behold, there are some people protesting her just being totally let off free for murdering an innocent man in cold blood for no discernible reason. Maybe a little fast for a protest, considering it happened like 2 hours ago.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say they are there. They're just kind of screaming at her, and I believe, is this where a news reporter gives us the
best line of the entire show? Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so there's a news reporter reporting on the protesters outside of the butchery. She says a whole bunch of stuff basically about what has happened. And then she informs us and the news viewers that people are referring to this incident as, and I quote, the lesbian George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Which, the writers probably patted themselves on the back for that one, huh? That one was a real zinger. Way to go, American Horror Story writers.
And it aged great.
I feel like
just got better with time.
I feel like that was absolutely a case for someone in the writers' room says like, no, I don't like it. I love it.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. 100%. They're like, this is so topical. This is so relevant. There is like a very brief thing that should be mentioned because it comes up a little bit later where the car is kind of stopped by Kai, and Kai like makes Allie roll down the window and is like, you did a good job. Like I can protect you. Like you were afraid and you protected yourself and stuff like that.
I'll take care of this crowd for you. I think is like specifically.
I'll take care of this mob for you. Just keep telling your truth. And the reason what happened was they pull up to the restaurant where the people are protesting, not in front of them. Ivy's like, I gotta go there, like in the restaurant. I have to take care of like my business and employees. I'm like, you mean like the one that got shot yesterday? Is that the employees you're gonna take care of? Okay, Ivy, good luck.
Imagine going into work at a restaurant and being like, hey, your fucking wife just murdered my coworker and you're just here today, huh? Like it's no big deal.
And another employee died like less than a week ago.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like every restaurant I've worked at, and if someone was fucking hung up in the locker and murdered, and then not even a full week later, your wife just shot another one of the employees, I'm out, dog.
Yeah,
Sorry. I don't there's no amount of loyalty. Like you better be like, you get 6 months of vacation and unlimited breadsticks. And then like, all right.
Consider this my 2 weeks notice. And by 2 weeks, I mean right now. Like it's done. They're out.
Yeah, sorry. Like statistically, there's a 20% chance or greater I'll be shot within the next week. So I'm gonna fucking dip.
Yeah, I gotta go. I got other stuff I gotta take care of. I'll see y'all later. I'll catch y'all later. That scene segues into what is one of the most unhinged scenes in this season, but also
Jesus
one of the best ones.
Owns, yeah, this is awful. I hate it so much, but
it sucks. It's so good.
The writing for this scene is like so painful, and so it's like someone trying to do a parody but going so far and also clearly not understanding what they're parodying.
Yeah, it's terrible. So she opens her door, Allie, at home, you know, and there's Harrison and Meadow, the neighbors from across the street, wearing sombreros, just glowering at her at the cage. And one of them says, how does it feel to I wrote this all down. How does it feel to exercise your white privilege and execute people of color? To which Allie is like, why are you wearing sombreros? And Harrison says, why not? This is obviously how you see people of Latin descent. This scene is a lot. And then I think Meadow says, you see a beautiful brown face and immediately thought home invader. And then Harrison says, I did 23andMe and it turns out I'm partially Hispanic. Are you going to kill me? And like, it's like one of those scenes you're like looking at like, this is supposed to be scary at some point, right? Because it's like, what's going on? Is this like comedy? What is happening? And then Harrison throws a bunch of papers at her as if this can't go any lower, and then goes like, or high, I don't know, higher, depending on maybe your perspective. And it's like, she's like, what's this? He goes, Taco Bell coupons. Take these and you can wallow in your appropriation of Hispanic culture. And then they're like, you're no progressive. We want you out of this neighborhood. And Allie's like, well, we were here first. And then Meadow says, tell that to the Native Americans. And then they leave. And
tell that to the Native Americans really activated my almonds.
God. Especially from the perspective of Harrison and Meadow, who now are like, we're going to be the oppressor. That's what it means. It means that we get to be the oppressor now, since you theoretically oppress someone. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
The Taco Bell coupons in particular are just like, this was written by aliens.
Yeah.
This cannot be a way anyone thinks any human being would. Like, it's so far away from reality of how any adult would act that it's just, I don't even know.
So
it's like completely unhinged, completely fucking unhinged.
Other seasons do, like, they do that thing where it's like you have a bizarre character that's like acting socially awkward, not in like to put you off almost, like they're like giving you too much information, that kind of thing. But this is just like, I don't know what they were trying to do here.
It's like a caricature of a caricature almost.
Yeah.
Also with Harrison, they like change what caricature he is every scene. They're like, okay, now you love guns too much.
Yeah.
Now
that's the other
something
thing.
else entirely.
Harrison like goes on like this kind of like mini rant of like, I gave you one of my guns and this is what you did with it. Like he's super mad about it, which is such like a juxtaposition of this dude who has essentially an arsenal being like, well, I didn't want you to use it for that.
Right. Like, it's all so horrible.
It's a lot. And then they have their little exchange and they close the door. And then Allie is, I think, watching the news.
Yeah, then it's nighttime. We the whole day was this scene more. Yes.
Also, this is someone grabbing Allie's door bars and shaking them and running their face up against the bars count 2 for the record. This is I'm keeping track because I have a feeling we'll see at least 5 before the end of this season.
I can't believe the hubris on you that you think you know where this is all going. Like, not even as a spoiler, just based on what we've seen.
Look, all I know is that they love the heavy-handed ass metaphor of Allie is behind a wall in the form of a door with bar. Like, they fucking love it. They are nutting. Every time that door's on screen, they're like, we had that shit custom fucking made. That door is so sick.
Oh my God. And this is the only other time, as far as I'm aware, at least in this episode, that we hear even like a brief mention of Rosie and Mark again, which is where they're watching TV and there's a news report about like this very specific murder of 2 people who were put in coffins, and there was a smiley face like there was for the Chang's house.
By the way, and did you notice the news reporter is Beverly Hope, who's been the same news reporter in every single scene, by the way?
There's only one news reporter, period, ever. She's really
a busy
overworked.
Lady.
Yeah,
she
she's
gets
busy.
around. Yeah,
she's real busy. Then like there's a little bit of like an argument. I don't even remember what the argument was about. Probably general like, you know, Allie is crazy stuff. And then they hear this really loud ass noise. And they go and look outside, and there's this huge tanker truck, which is ripped straight out of a Purge movie with the LED lights and everything, that is spraying gamer fog all down the
I was
road.
gonna say, this is literally just the rolling rave truck. Like, it is just huge ass fog machines pumping out the bottom with like ground effects, green lighting everywhere. I was like, damn, you load that thing up with some champagne and I'll ride around. I'll have a good time.
We don't even really know what the truck is doing until like a couple of scenes later, when Ivy is like doing something in the kitchen and she looks outside to see Allie staring at something, a la The Shining. And they go outside and the lawn is just absolutely covered with dead birds. So the implication is that the fog killed the birds, which, you know, killing birds to own the libs, you know, as you do. Then, and that's really all there is about that. And then Winter shows up.
Winter shows up. All right, everybody, start a countdown to when Winter fucks up. The answer might surprise you.
In fact, you know what? Don't even start the timer.
She retroactively fucked up. She fucked up before she was actually in the scene. Incredible work, Winter. New personal best, minus 15 seconds.
Winter just absolutely going above and beyond to be dog shit at her job. But first of all, Allie's like super tilted about Winter leaving her in the terrorist attack, which, was a reasonable thing for Winter to do.
You're a babysitter, exactly.
Yeah, and there was a woman having a panic attack with a gun, waving it around, screaming, "Don't leave me!" Yeah, no, that's a really good time to leave, actually.
Yeah, Winter was for maybe once in Winter's life making the correct decision by leaving. But then Allie decides, no, it's fine. Actually, you're right. You should have left. Good job. And then they're like, "Yep, Winter still has a job. She still works here." And then she's like, "Oh, I was so worried I had lost my job. I thought that the guy outside was applying for my job." And they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Winter?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I let him in. He's inside. He's in the living room." And they're like,
he
"God
said he was responding
it.
to an ad. Yeah.
They're like, "God damn it, Winter. You have got to stop doing this."
I know.
I'll let someone else explain what the next scene is.
It's a big boy jacking off. So they walk into the other room and go, well, first they Winter says, "Oh yeah, I let someone in. They said they were answering an ad." And immediately the two moms go, "Oh fuck, where's Ozzy?" And like sprint off to find a fella in the living room who's just like, "Hubba hubba ding ding, ladies, y'all ready?"
Fully naked, by the way. Fully naked.
Yeah, buck naked, preemptively fluffing. This man's getting ready to fluff in advance. He know he's here to do business.
He says, and I quote, "I hope you ladies are hungry."
God, they couldn't. Okay, props to the writer. That has to be one of the worst fucking things you can say. Like, immediately, like the only. God, what would you have to say to be worse? Like, "Daddy likey" or something like. Fucking abhorrent. I love it. Oh, such good writing.
Also, the confidence to respond to one of those ads and then not like double check that you're at the right place. Get let in by another person who was not mentioned in the ad at all, and then just assume you're in the right place and immediately strip naked and start beating it because you assume you're in the correct place. Incredible.
Yeah. And yeah, so they basically are just like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I was responding to the ad of two horny lesbians who want to get turbo fucked, and I was like here to do the turbo fuck." And then they're like, "No, get out of here, we'll kill you." And he, immediately, "Oh, is this what you do? You invite guys and embarrass them? Is that how you get?" And like gets really weirdly aggressive, and I'm just like, this scene it sucks more and more the more it goes on. And luckily, fucking there's one adult in this house. Ivy grabs something and actively chases him out. And it's just like, "No, I'm going to hit you with a rock, man."
Yeah.
Like, it's time for you to go.
This is,
what did that scene accomplish? Not a whole lot, but
it let American Horror Story steal from a news story where this kind of happened and was awful in a way, but at least like things were prevented before they went too far. So this isn't even like an original writing thing. This is like a thing that happened in the news.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because, apparently it was just like someone is repeatedly putting up these ads on Craigslist for, Allie and Ivy's address or whatever.
Yeah.
And like every time they get reported and taken down, putting them back up with like slightly different wording and stuff.
Right.
Allie is pretty convinced at this point that it is the neighbors across the street, since the neighbors across the street were pretty hostile towards her.
Fucking fair. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Reasonable. Yeah.
So then a very short brief scene of Allie in the car talking to her therapist on the phone, who apparently is also a lawyer. Not really, but that you would be very surprised to hear that. A lot of legal
advice out of this fella. Yeah, not really a great psych session. More of a, here's how you should handle the fact that you fucking killed an innocent man. Which, not great. Not what a psych does, generally.
No.
So he gives like some legal advice, which is wild. And then she essentially says like, "Oh no, I'm not calling to like work through this. I'm calling to let you know that I'm about to go confront the protesters outside of my wife's restaurant. And I wanted to see what I should say," which weird person to call for that kind of advice.
Right.
And he like immediately pulls this very funny bit of like the reverse of, "Oh, I'm going through a tunnel, can't hear you," where he goes, "Oh, would you look at that? We're out of time. I think we should schedule an in-person appointment." And I'm like, that was a very good bit. Thank you, therapist character.
Cool.
And I don't remember if there's anything else in that scene.
Oh no, you know what it was? This is what was weird, because like she was like, I'm not racist. Like one time when I was 9 years old, and then he goes, "I'm sorry, our time's up." And she goes, "Okay, I'm gonna go confront the protesters." And then suddenly he talks to her more. Like, that's not a great idea. What's going on? And it's like and it like goes on. I'm like, I thought you were out of time. So it was very obviously a lie, which I liked. But anyway, whatever.
So then she pulls up to the protesters and folds like a cheap suit instantly after working herself up to go confront them. They all are like, "Hey, you killed a guy," and then she's like, "Oh fuck, I did kill a guy. Shit, I do feel really bad, actually. That was a bad thing to do." And like is starting to like really panic and freak out and call them all motherfuckers, and it's not the best confrontation,
Right.
She keeps saying, like, she keeps reiterating, like, I'm one of you, which I'm assuming she means like a liberal is what she's trying to say. But
she's yelling it from inside the car where they can't hear her. Like, they're surrounding it and stuff, because it's like, what was the plan here? Like, when were you going to get out to talk to them or whatever,
And then inexplicably, everyone leaves, and Kai walks up and is just like, "See, I told you I'd be helpful." And it's just like, but you didn't do anything. He just like tuxedo man. I guess he's just real stinky. That's my best guess. He's just
Honestly,
so stinky that
probably.
he walked up and they were, he is when he heard that he's representing the unwashed masses, he's like, "Great, that means I should never wash."
I should never start washing.
Yeah.
incredible. And then, of course, that sends Allie into a tailspin, so she goes back home, where we start to have the best sequence of events, which is that they find Winter yet again fucking up and accepting an animal from the neighbors across the street, a guinea pig named Mr. Guinea.
Which again...
Yeah.
You're a babysitter. This isn't your place.
No.
Don't do that shit.
No.
Oh my God. I've worked as a babysitter. Do you know what I did? I made sure the kid didn't like shove his own head in the toilet. And I just like play video games with him for a bit. And I'd be like, when his parents got back, I was like, "Yeah, he didn't die. Bye." That was it. That was my job.
Whereas Winter is like, against my best efforts, Oz is still alive.
I know.
I guess I have power of attorney for this household. Yes.
But again,
so
the guinea pig's name is Mr. Guinea, which is a problem for Allie specifically.
Well, she's sensitive to dander, and she said they don't allow pets because she's sensitive to dander. And then she says, also, we don't like our pets to have cisnormative names.
Yeah.
So then Winter like does this weird like thing where she goes, "Well, why would you have a rule about pets if you don't have rules?" Like, wait, why are you pointing out plot holes, Winter? Like, this seems like totally up your... But fine. But she's like, "Well, it's the principle, whatever." And Oz jumps in to save this completely stupid like exchange that was obviously never spoken by people and written by on paper, whatever, and says, "Well, he's a boy." And then the neighbors brought it as a peace offering. And they're like, "We can't accept the guinea pig from the neighbors who hate us and are probably doing horrible Craigslist things to us. So,
yeah,
get him out of here. We can't do it." Oz is like blaming Allie, to which Allie says, "Come on, we're gonna send her back. Say your goodbyes to Mr. Guinea." And then Oz goes, "I wish I could say my goodbyes to you." No response.
It is the most fucking child acting that has happened in this show so far. Like, and I do mean child acting derogatory. I cannot be clear enough here. It is real rough.
And then but none of them say like, "Oh, don't say that" or something to your kid. Like, there's no admonishment. Just like, yeah, I guess Allie is kind of a shitty mom. You're right, Oz.
Yeah, between Ivy and Winter, I think they're both kind of on Oz's side at this point.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, Allie's a lot. We understand, Oz. We get it. We get it."
So God.
So Allie then decides to call the neighbors and try to own them, and it's pointless and goes nowhere, and the only thing that matters is when they pick up the phone, the cop is already over there at the neighbor's place, kind of like hitting it off with Harrison a bit.
Yeah, I think the implication is like that they're boning, I believe.
Yeah.
And then like truly like Harrison is like kind of before they start owning Allie, like Harrison is genuinely like, "No, that was like that was a show of goodwill. Like, I hate you, not your kid. I got him a thing because I like your kid, in a not creepy way." And then like Allie just continues to go apeshit, and then Meadow's like, give me the phone, like she's gonna deliver like this super super sick burn. And literally all she says is like, listen, lesbian, you're a racist, and then hangs up. And I'm like, wow, sick own, Meadow, very cool, glad you grabbed the phone.
I do like that they kind of establish here. They're like, oh shit. And realizing in retrospect, like, oh shit, we need to make sure everyone thinks Meadow sucks in the next like 20 minutes or we're in trouble. We better make Meadow super ownable in the next 20 seconds.
Well, and she also says like Les, which is like, what? Like, who the hell says that even? But all right. Like, hello, Les.
Ah, you who hails from the Isle of Lesbos. Racist.
Whoa.
I hate you, and then just hangs up. It was very good sequence of events.
It would have been a better roast if she literally was just like, "Are you gay?" and then hung up. Like then I'd at least be like, "Okay, cool, that's like a turn." You know, that's something.
Nice. Good job, Meadow. You nailed it.
As opposed to Les, are you racist? It's so nonsense.
Oh
so Allie sees the cool gamer truck again and decides she wants her gamer ice cream and runs out into the middle of the street and goes, stop, do you have the funny Gengar ice cream that turns my mouth black for a week? No, but she runs out and then starts screaming some real fucking nonsense of like, I'm an American, you have to tell me what we're spraying, I have rights, you have to.
Yeah.
Even as batshit insane as that phrase is, what's even more batshit is assuming that somebody driving a semi-truck like a half a mile ahead of you could hear you screaming. Like,
yeah. I think she even says at some point, like, I want to speak to your manager, which, like, keep it up, American Horror Story. I love your sense of subtlety. It's quite good.
And, like, oh yeah. Anyway, the
she
truck
almost gets hit and just like takes a dive onto the sidewalk and passes out. And then Ivy finds her and is just like, "Hey, did you hit your head on the curb? Your nose is bleeding."
Yeah.
Oh well, let's go.
They make a big deal. They make the big deal of the nosebleed. Like, is it from the chemicals or did she just fucking take a header into the ground? Oh, it's that one. Yeah. Never mind. Anyway, so and then like
they do like the gamer spray, and then we get like a very brief scene of another pinky promise.
God, I wish it was a brief scene. It's 3 fucking minutes. It's 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes, and they say nothing.
I know. That's more so what I mean. Is it's a brief scene in the way that like the plot is not furthered in any capacity, like at all. It's 3
really
minutes of absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Meadow and Kai doing the pinky promise thing. And
Meadow, not Winter.
Asks,
We need to reiterate it is. I know they all have fucked up names.
Neighbor,
it is Meadow, the neighbor.
Sorry, Meadow. Yeah, Meadow the neighbor, and
Kai. Yeah.
You know, doing the pinky promise thing with Kai for some indiscernible reason, and. She, you know, asks, what are you afraid of? She says some dumb shit about like, oh, I'm worried one of the Real Housewives has a drinking problem, and then he fucking just like floors her. Like he literally just levels her with a slap, like brings her to the ground.
Yeah. And then he's like,
which again, why did she agree to any of this? This is like truly unhinged. That like your response to this would be like, sorry, I can't believe I wasn't taking our fucking pinky promise seriously enough, Kyle. Sorry, Kyle, I wasn't taking it serious.
And he's like, it's a revolution. My time's valuable. Like, you're doing play school pinky promises, my boy. Like,
no, your time ain't valuable, homie. You're doing this. That means your time ain't valuable. Like you
yeah, she's like, I use humor as a defense mechanism. I'm afraid the man I love is leaving me. So basically she's worried Harrison's like, you know, I am not loving this arrangement we have and I want to leave. And Kai's like, yep, he is. Stop saying sorry. Everything is somebody else's fault from now on. If you want to be somebody, you make the world wrong. Next scene, like, it's just, okay, thanks for that.
Yeah, that's really all that's established there.
Yeah, they just straight up, and like it ends with like, yeah, of course he doesn't love you, you're fucking insufferable, you're terrible, blah, 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 like going on and going on. It's just like really weird and aggressive. And again, like,
he asks her one of her very like he asks her very specifically if she's worried she'll never be penetrated by a man again, and she says yes.
Which, yeah, Kai does this a lot. Like he's, you know what? You want to have a real prediction here? I'm ready to do it.
All right, go for it.
Everybody stand back.
All right.
Kai is the clown that jacks off the most. Because he really loves bringing it up there in the weird pinky promise thing. I think he's got some weird, like, getting turned on by people being afraid thing. So I'm betting he's the clown that jerks off more than anybody.
I want to write that down so we can talk about it later. Okay.
We can grade Ty. We can grade Ty at the end of the season.
Yeah.
How many called shots were correct?
Addiction. He jerks off the
But
most. Okay.
yeah, like the only thing we really like solidly identify is that Meadow is not happy that Harrison has a new buddy, which it's not directly said, but it's implied that it's the cop. And she thinks that, because remember, like when we first got introduced to this character, they were like, she was like, that we have a good arrangement as long as you don't make a fool out of me, which is a weird thing to say. I'm fine with you banging men. And then lo and behold, Harrison is banging a man and is, I guess, making a fool out of her somehow by doing that. And then we
Yeah, their agreement makes no sense. Their agreement makes no sense.
Yeah,
like, I
zero.
have known people who are actually in similar arrangements for like financial reasons, more or less. And yeah, no, it's not. You can't be weird. No.
Yeah, like typically it's like a hands-off type situation. Like, yeah, we're married on paper, but you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
you don't have like any claim to your
we
spouse.
are two adults in a working relationship. Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get what weirdly one of the better acted scenes of like maybe the whole franchise, which is like, actually no, never mind. This is not the correct one.
They're eating ice cream here, right?
Yes, this is the ice cream scene. Like there's a very brief allusion to the fact that Allie maybe swallowed some truck gas. I'm sure everybody remembers the truck gas from 2 scenes ago. And then, like, all 3 of them are, like, sitting at a table tasting, I'm assuming, like, flavors that Ivy is going to be, like, showcasing, which means that Ivy has taken the time to come up with 6 new ice cream flavors in the midst of all of this murder and clownery.
Right.
Incredible.
Butchery.
In a butchery.
In a butchery.
Yes.
Now, what butchery has custom ice cream made in-house?
And, like, okay, I get teasing your kids, but this just doesn't... This is written by someone who doesn't have kids or anything, because, like, Allie, who, like, last scene we saw Oz is pretty mad at her about the guinea pig, just reaches over, like, I'm gonna take some of your ice cream, son. That's good. I think I'm gonna take more, but, like, actually does. And it's like, oh, come on. Like, Allie, you're such a jerk. Like, and then, you know, but it's supposed to be cute or whatever. And then Allie and Ivy, like, kiss a mint green tea ice cream, like, just taste it, you know, like, it's like a little romantic thing, which, I mean, they're kids 7, whatever, he's right there, all right, whatever. So, like, they're not, like, making out or anything, but I'm still just like, I don't know, like, it's a little intimate.
And it's, like, a weirdly kind of, like, wholesome scene, because they're all interacting like sane human beings.
Sure.
Like, if you watched this scene out of context, you would go reeling watching the rest of the show, because it's such, like, a normal, grounded scene, and, like, they're even acting different, and it seems like very genuine and stuff.
I should stop complaining. It's just, like, I just feel like me and my wife wouldn't be doing that Lady in the Tramp spaghetti eating in front of Mike. You know what I mean? Not because it's, like, grabber. It's just odd.
Even then, though, it's just so close to what a regular person would do that it feels extra out of place in this show.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
It's one of those things where, like, you and your wife wouldn't do it, but I know plenty of people who would. Like, I could totally see someone doing that.
All
exactly.
right, that's fair.
Whereas, like, the rest of this show... No,
yeah,
I can't see someone getting their sombrero on, going to their neighbor's house, calling him racist, and throwing Taco Bell coupons at him.
That was beautiful.
Also, in that scene, though, like, they're tasting the different flavors, and Ivy's like, why has nobody tasted this one? And Allie's like, which one? She's like, the mint and green tea ice cream. And then both Allie and Oz, like, join in on, like, dogpiling on Ivy, like, wow, you made dog shit mint green tea ice cream. That's why, idiot. What a shitty flavor. And then she's like, no, you got to try it. And then that's when Allie takes a bite, and she's like, wow, that's actually really good. And then they have their, like, weird little Lady in the Tramp moment with the ice cream.
Yeah.
Nothing is established in that scene either, except for the fact that I guess a change of heart has happened, and now Allie's going to let them keep the guinea pig.
And Ivy says it's it's really it was really good of you that. She goes, and then Allie's like, it was the ice cream. I realized I was licked, which But it's pretty
Yeah,
good writing by the show standards.
They made it. They made a good pun at the right at the finish line. They made a good pun.
And then the funniest scene in the show, according to Ty Tuesday, happens.
Yeah. By the way, where is Mr. Guinea?
Where is Mr. Guinea? Oh, now that he's been accepted into the family and will be around for multiple episodes, I'm sure. Seasons, if we can help it. Well, they get home and Oz immediately is like, yay, I can't wait to tell the guinea pig, yay. I can't wait to tell him we're going to keep him. Runs inside. And then I think don't Allie they notice the marking on the door at this point?
He brings their attention to it first. So he gets to the door first and he's like, "Moms, look at this." And he points to the smiley face that's painted on the front door. Then he just blows
and it's the
the
smiley face that was in the Chang's house.
It's the murder smiley face. It's the creepy one. And then Oz is like, "But I don't give a shit about that." And then he blows past the door to go tell the guinea pig that he's a part of the family now.
For what it's worth, this is 100% accurate child behavior.
Yeah,
absolutely. Just like, I have decided, my mind is made up. I'm talking to Mr. Guinea Pig
that's
right
fine.
now.
Yeah.
So they sprint. Oz sprints inside, and then the parents sprint behind him, like, "Oh no, Oz! Oh no!" Thinking like the clowns might still be in there. Also, why is the door unlocked? As well. And they run into the kitchen, and perfectly as they run into the kitchen, they look in the microwave, and there is a perfectly still guinea pig prop in there, like the most fake ass looking guinea pig, perfectly still, perfect tube. And then it just pops like a balloon.
As the timer hit 0. Like it was cooked for perfectly the amount of time.
They calculated that shit. They calculated that. They knew exactly how many seconds it was going to take to make this fucking guinea pig explode.
You can't even get a bag of popcorn to pop all its kernels, but these fuckers got a guinea pig to explode at just the right time.
Like, it's amazing, too, because, like, have they never put a piece of meat in the microwave? It doesn't blow up, champ. It doesn't blow up.
Guinea pigs are typically not pressurized.
Yeah. It wouldn't pop like the guy's head in Scanners. It's not.
Also, like, I could not remember it, and it's one of those things where someone's going to say something, and it's going to unlock this deep, like, guttural memory of a different season that I've locked away, which is so common with this show. But I feel like this is not even the first time that this exact bit has happened of like animal is put into microwave and people discover it right as it's exploding.
I think I feel like American Horror Story borrows a lot from other movies, not even horror movies, just like movies.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is meant to be like Fatal Attraction, but a little more modern, But
it's so funny. It's so funny. I don't know how they expect me to have a horror reaction because it is so fucking funny. Like, I would expect, this is like the kind of shit I would expect in like Airplane 2. Like, really cheap prop bit that's just ridiculous.
Well, you know what though? Like, even Fatal Attraction, like, it's like, the rabbit that the kid's rabbit that gets boiled or whatever is like it's a pet that you've seen before, so it hits a little. Like this guinea pig's been in one scene. Granted, lasted longer than Rosie, like in her arc.
We were gonna get rid of the guinea pig too until roughly 10 seconds ago. We were just like, yeah, the guinea pig is an act of aggression, and we're gonna get rid of it. And now they're like, you're supposed to care about the guinea pig.
Yeah.
I'm like, all I care about is who in your props department convinced you to put like a charge of C4 inside of a stuffed guinea pig. And we're like, this will work.
My thing is also like, why is it taking you so long to get rid of the guinea pig? Like typically, like if an animal is brought home and you're not going to keep it, like there's a pretty quick turnaround. Like you give it back to the neighbors and then you fuck off. Like,
because you're just letting it like poop all over your house and maybe eat and get in this. You know what I mean? Like you don't just leave it. Yeah. Unless you're buying a pen for it. Yeah, it's something.
Like if someone gives you an animal as a gift, you have to like do the unfortunate thing of going to a pet store and buying all of the stuff that goes with the animal now.
It's like the famed prank of giving someone like a protected tortoise for a present so that they have to take care of it for the rest of their life.
Exactly. Oh, a white elephant. Thank you. I've never heard of why these are. Yeah, it's like.
And then, of course,
yeah.
Allie thinks that it's the neighbor. Well, thinks that it's the neighbors that exploded the guinea pig as well as giving the guinea pig.
Yeah, I don't know, by the way, this is a different Allie, even though it's also played by Sarah Paulson, because she's not afraid of anything suddenly and is super confrontational. And this time it's Ivy who's kind of like, yo, like, calm down. Let's think here, you know. Which is, like, to be fair, sure. But, like, Ivy is suddenly in, you made my son watch his beloved guinea pig explode. I'm gonna kill all of you. So she goes out there. She fucking clocks Harrison and knocks him down.
She breaks into their house first.
Oh, yeah,
she breaks and enters and then clocks Harrison.
Yes, they're in the backyard in his beekeeper's house. Not even scared of the bees anymore.
Also, they ask, like, what happened to Mr. Guinea? Like, they're both like, when she's like, yeah, what'd you fucking kill that guinea pig for? And they're like, whoa, wait, someone killed the guinea pig? Whoa, what?
Yeah, but she's like, I'm not buying that. And then, like, she's like, you fuck with me again, I will kill you both. Actually, if you bother me or my family again. So then she, like, storms off. Ivy's mad at her. And then this is ridiculous of Ivy, because she's like, you know, I've stood with you for all your fears, all the mental imbalances, all the things going on. I worked with you through it. And then I even tolerated when you voted for Jill fucking Stein. And then,
I can't believe it. I can't believe they brought it back up. It's so fucking insane. Like, it's actually crazy that would be a thing that, like, it boggles the mind that Ivy would, after, she murdered an employee of hers, right? Like, I feel like that's like, yeah, you don't. The voting doesn't really come up in the conversation at this point.
That's
I feel
not
like once
as
you've done
bad
a murder,
as voting independent.
yeah. And then, like, Allie responds, you said you weren't going to bring that up again. Which, again, is like, what is wrong with everyone? Like, what happened here? Like...
Oh my god.
God, if I had just murdered my significant other's employee and all she brought up was like, oh, I can't believe you voted independent, I'd be like, sorry, honey. Thank you for not bringing up the murder I did.
I know.
You're right, honey. And then also, like, in that same thing, she's like, when she's telling off Harrison and Meadow, she's like, and I bet you guys painted that smiley face on the front door too. And then they kind of like get a little serious and sobered up for a second, and they're like, wait, what smiley face? And she shows them like a picture. And they're like, no, like, that's legitimately like the serial killer's like marking. Like, you're marked. Like, you need to do something. Like, they start to get like, even though we're enemies, like, that's serious. Like, we didn't do that. You need to take some precautions. That was not us. Like, you should be aware of that. And then, like, as they're leaving, Allie and Ivy, they also see that that Harrison and Meadows' house has also been marked by the same thing. And Allie, for some fucking reason, is like, I bet they did this to their own house. And I'm like, on the back side where they wouldn't expect you to be ever, to specifically just to own you. Like, I'm not sure. I don't follow Allie's logic here.
To be fair, too, at this point, the clowns would be like, put it somewhere where they can't really see it, you know? Like, it's just, you know, it's like not their best work. That one guy's never going to get to jerk off at this rate, you know? Like...
And then they go back home, and the gamer truck is back, and except for now there are gamer employees.
Yeah.
Gamers. In her yard, spraying her lawn with gamer spray, which is like LED bug spray. It's very funny.
There are ground effects on the weed sprayers.
Yeah.
It's very good. It is a very good
It's for
scene.
night spraying.
Yeah.
It's for night spraying when you need to do a little night gardening, you know?
Yeah.
And Allie, again, no fear, just starts losing her shit at these people who are in full hazmat suits in her front yard, and is like, what are you spraying? You have to tell me, blah, 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 blah. And then she does what Ty mentioned earlier of a very good metaphor, which is pulling off one of their gas masks, because she's like, who are you? Show me who you work for. Show me who you are. And she pulls off the mask, and beneath that mask is another mask, and it's like a big stinger reveal, and she like kind of like stumbles back and is like, oh my god, another mask.
I could not stop laughing. I thought I had laughed as hard as I could when the guinea pig exploded, and then they literally did the like Kane pulling off a mask, and it's also Kane underneath from like WWF in 1995, and I'm just like, this is incredible. This is amazing. Also, it is just straight up the symbol of the killers as a mask underneath the additional mask. And like, why would you wear two? No, oh God. I'm hoping they're going to explain this away as like the Joker gas made her see the mask that was fake or something, because holy shit.
No, you have to wear a mask under your mask, because what if the really scared lady rips off your gas mask? You know?
That's my backup mask.
You can't have your secret identity revealed. So, you know, good thing she didn't get to mask 3 or 4 under there. But, you know.
Each episode is just Allie getting a little bit closer, pulling off like another mask, until the last episode is just this like reveal of her finally pulling off the final mask. That would, you know what? That would have been,
and it's
been
her,
better.
And it's her inside of it.
It's a VHS copy. It's a VHS copy of the movie Mask, and then
oh my God,
taped on his face. And then Allie,
so then we cut to Kai wanting to learn about male relations for whatever reason.
It's another mini Pinky Promise scene, except for this time it's Harrison instead of Meadow, and they're talking about fucking dudes, and by them I mean
also
Kai
notably
Harrison.
more important than Meadows and notably shorter than Meadows. I just want to point that out. Like, this one is half the length of the other one, even though it is, I presume, much more plot critical.
Yeah, and like kind of the whole takeaway from that one is like Harrison's thing is like, though he does care for Meadow, he wishes he had never married her, and now he wishes that she were dead so that he didn't have to be married. And I'm like, divorces are a thing that you can do. It feels like
also,
dead is like kind of a stretch.
Once again, we have another case too of Kai trying to like force his angle down someone's throat, like pretty aggressively, where he's like, so you want her dead? And he's like, no, I don't want her dead. Like, I love her. I care for her. It's just I shouldn't have hooked my life to her. Like, that was a mistake. And I noticed that now. And he's like, no, tell me you want her dead. And he's like, I don't really. Just tell me you want her dead. And he's like, I can't do anything unless you specifically, explicitly tell the clowns you wish for her to be dead.
Just say it. Just say the words. You know?
And then he's like, okay, yeah, dear clown gods, while I have my pinky hooked up with the #1 jerkin clown, I would like you to murder my wife, Meadow. Thank you.
And that's all that's really established there. And then it cuts to the last scene, which is it starts with Allie and Ivy. They're at home again. And the cop that Harrison has been banging is at their house because they're reporting everything. And the cop's like, hey, take it easy. Like, you're maybe overreacting a bit here. And then Allie, like a normal sane person, pulls the exploded guinea pig out of the freezer. And is like, this is all that's left of Mr. Guinea. And I'm like, I don't even think he knows who Mr. Guinea is.
Right, yeah.
Which is, I mean, like, to Allie, because like she doesn't know that he was hanging out with Harrison, so like also, she doesn't know that he knows who Mr. Guinea is.
The cops like you probably be like, you kept that in your freezer with food? Like, I'm not gonna DNA sample this. Like, what? Like,
and then she like hands it to him, and then like you quietly hear, this is a great scene, you quietly hear Oz from upstairs going, shit, with little like baby Oz voice, which is very good. And they're both like,
very funny.
It's very, very funny. And then Oz, they run upstairs and they're like, what's the matter? And he's like slammed his iMac shut and he's like, I clicked on a link. And they're like,
here we go.
Oh, it's okay, buddy. And then he's like, he just starts like, not trauma dumping, but like giving way too much information. He's like, I learned how to bypass the parental controls. And Ivy's like, what? No, you can't do that, bud. And he's like, I watched you type in the password. It's clowns with a Z. And I'm like, wow, owning your wife by setting the password is something that she fucking hates.
What the fuck, Ivy? What a dick. Well, I guess, you're just like, well, then my wife will never crack the password because she couldn't bring herself to type clowns with a Z. Too spooky.
I tried to get into the bank, but I'm unconscious again. It's so weird.
She just sees the word clown on screen and is like, I don't know if I can take anymore, and hits the Z key and just hits the floor.
Maybe her therapist made her set the password to that as part of the therapy. See?
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's right, Allie. If you want to look at adult stuff, you gotta get over it. You gotta type the word clowns with a Z.
And then like, I don't even know why. I don't even know why Oz delivers that information. And then they're like, what were you looking at, Oz? And he's like, nothing. And then they get super weird about it. And they're like, no, now you have to show us because you're being super weird and like cagey about it. And like they open up the computer, which he's like, I clicked on a link, which I'm assuming means somebody sent him the link. But it's essentially like a ripoff of bestgore.com or rotten.com, like a gore website.
It's the same site that Winter put him on before to watch to see a dead body.
Yeah. And like instead of seeing a dude getting stabbed in the neck again, it's the video. Apparently there was video taken of that scene from the last episode where Winter started finger banging Allie in the bathtub. Which, of course, is not received well by Ivy, as it shouldn't be. They start freaking out. And which at this point it's kind of funny to like look at it in retrospect, because that means that like Oz going shit was him seeing the video, not clicking on the link, which like is a weird reaction from him to be like shit like, well, I shouldn't be looking at this. Like it was such a weird reaction from Oz.
It only would make sense in context of somebody like, hey nerd, I'm sending this to our school, you know, like your mom's banging, like shit, like I'm gonna get made fun of tomorrow or something, you know, whatever. But
it's just him panicking because he's like seeing it, and then like of course Ivy is mad, which she should be. And she walks out, and then she's like, "You cheated on me," and Allie's like, "No, I didn't," and I'm like, we just watched a video of it. Like, you're gaslighting.
Ivy literally says right after, she's like, it was on video. I was watching it. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, I didn't. I watched you do it.
And instead of Allie being like, hey, sorry about the cheating thing, but we should address first and foremost, that means someone set up cameras in our house, because that is a concerning point.
It is reasonable, honestly. Like,
if she had approached it like that, like, sorry, we'll get to Winter trying to bang me in a second. Hey, someone has set up cameras in our home. They blow past both of those points very quickly. And then Ivy's like, I'm fucking out of here. And then Allie's like, no, you can't. And she's like, well, the clowns will be sure to keep you company.
Yeah, she's like straight up taking odds. Good luck with the killers. Take easy.
Great. Sick burn. Absolutely incredible burn from Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy truly deserves to leave. Ivy deserves to leave and be in a better place, for sure. Good for her. Get out of there, queen.
Yeah, and they end up doing that. And, like, as they're... And the cop's there, too, still, because he's been downstairs holding the dead guinea pig, I presume.
Yeah, so this is, like, this exchange is happening upstairs, and he goes... Hey, is someone okay? Presumably because he heard Ivy just fucking punch Allie in the face.
Yeah. Which, that's fine, by the way. They don't ever bring that up again. It's okay.
No, it's,
I mean, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I think Allie's just like, I deserve at least this.
Right, yeah.
And so then they storm outside, and by they, I mean Oz and Ivy. And there's a shit ton of cops outside, and we hear Harrison going ape shit bananas from across the street. He's covered in blood, and he's screaming to the police officers about how he doesn't know where Meadow is. He woke up and the bed was full of like liquid, and he was sticky, which I don't really know if blood is sticky, but that's a conversation for another day. It's so good because the police officer is like, "Sir, you need to calm down," because he's fucking screaming. And he goes, "No, you need to calm up. You need to get agitated." And I'm like, hell yeah, Harrison, fuck it up, brother. Fuck it up, brother. Doing incredible work. And then that's kind of our segue to like the final like reveal of the episode. If someone else wants to summarize.
So, I mean, the implication here is that Meadow is extremely dead, of course. And I actually had to rewatch this a couple times because the framing makes it very unclear where Oz has ended up.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be Oz somehow put his fingers to his head like Goku and fucking instant transmissioned into Harrison's house past all of the fucking cops.
Yes.
Which,
correct.
Yeah, like I literally, by the way, had to like go and be like, okay, they framed them as looking down with the house to the left, and then they turned to the right, and then it hard cuts. Okay, they were in Harrison's house.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, they just see Oz standing there, and he's like looking at the the murder marking on the wall again. There's like another one.
There's now 3 on this house, by the way, because there's the one from the original thing of the Changs, and then there is one outside the house, and now there's a 3rd one inside the house. There's also like Freddy Krueger style like blood trails going down the walls, like there was a big like tussle. And there's blood just absolutely fucking everywhere, which it's like, damn, Harrison must sleep like the dead. Truly, because it does not look like this was quiet.
I am choosing to believe that the clowns use their clown magic to do equitable chaos, in that they exploded Meadow much the same way that Mr. Giddy was exploded.
Yeah.
So she just, like, the microwave wasn't necessary. The microwave was just a prop and like an excuse. They can just pop anyone like a balloon. That's just the thing to do. So
no, the thing you gotta understand, Mr. Guinea is afraid of microwaves, is why they did it that way. See,
that's what, he's like, I hope I don't get buried in a microwave.
Yep, and they're like,
oh no.
God damn it. And then like, so now at this point, the cops are like, hey, maybe it wasn't a murder-suicide. Maybe this is a serial killer. Because remember, they ruled the Changs a murder-suicide, not that they had been actually murdered by other people, even though it very clearly had been.
What about the people who were both buried alive in a coffin and sealed shut?
Murder-suicide.
How would they have both sealed themselves in there? How would they Joker's trick both of themselves into coffins, huh?
It's called the locked room mystery, you see. And
the mystery is they were locked in there by a savage gang of clowns. That's the mystery.
Do you think that like every time these police officers roll up on a new like obvious homicide, they're like, damn, another murder-suicide? Like they don't even look to see like who the victims were, like what led up to these events. They're like, damn, another murder-suicide every time they approach a crime scene.
Yeah, they pull up and you can just hear like some like clowns in big ass shoes squeaking, taking steps away, just like, it must be no one here.
And then that's the end of that episode. But yeah, Oz just like meandering very quickly for what it's worth, because we never see him go in there.
It's instant transmission. He just like literally teleports past a bunch of cops. Like he's there.
The house that he has for 2 episodes now been terrified of, by the way. He just decided, someone said there's a murder in there, I'm gonna go look at it.
Also super weird because Ivy just death gripped him to run him out of the house away from Allie. So like the idea that Ivy would just be like, I'll just let go of Oz. I hope nothing bad happens to my son.
In these 20 seconds that I'm not holding on. And Harrison the whole time, by the way.
Yeah.
Harrison, while he's going apeshit bananas, is pointing at Allie, saying, she did it. She's the one who killed Meadow. Where did you take Meadow? So, like, the implication is, like, that Meadow's body is not in the house.
Right.
That he does not know where she is, but there is a fuckload of blood everywhere, so he assumes she's dead. Which, again, Harrison, this is a little bit on you for not waking up. Like, if someone did a turbo murder right next to you and then also took your kicking and screaming, allegedly dying wife down the hallway and down the stairs, kicking and screaming, leaving all these blood prints on the wall, I don't know, maybe check into, like, see if you've got, like, sleep apnea or something. Because, like, it feels like you should have woken up.
His gun friends are going to be so mad at him, too. Just like, I can't believe, you're making us look really bad here, man. Because, like, you were supposed to...
One time.
Jeez. Well, I'm shocked we got through this as fast as we did. Because we were saying before, like, this is such a dense episode. We're going to be here for, like, hours if we let that happen. Because, wow.
I feel like new plot lines are foisted upon us in every episode. And some of them are concluded so quickly that I forget that they were even a plot line to begin with. And then like just a whole bunch of new plot lines get opened at the end of every episode. So there's like it like multiplies, it duplicates every episode. Like, we now have like a family tree of plot lines.
But like so little of it seems to matter, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Like
absolutely true.
We got Mr. Guinea Pig. Oh no, we don't know who killed him. I guess it was the clowns again. Well, it's like what?
And also like so like the MO of these clowns so far is like make people very, very scared based on whatever it is that they're scared of. I guess Rosie kind of got off easy because she didn't have to be tormented for like 3 weeks. Except for the Changs. The Changs just kind of got murdered. But like,
yeah,
the clowns have obviously gone above and beyond to make sure Ozzy sees them. So like they're trying to terrorize Ozzy as well. I'm not sure if Mr. Guinea was to terrorize Ozzy or to fuck with Allie, because at the beginning of the episode, Allie says maybe the most rational thing Allie's ever said, which is Oz is gonna be so fucked up. How is he gonna get over this? In reference to him seeing her shoot Pedro right in the face.
Honestly, most of the episodes of the events of the season.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, no. Allie makes a good point. Oz is gonna be like turbo fucked up. Maybe he should start seeing the psychiatrist. Like maybe get him some counseling, because he's fucking going through it at this point. Like his moms are surrounded by a lot of murder and a lot of very
and
unsavory
they hired
shit.
fucking Harley Quinn as the nanny, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
The fact that they've got fucking Harley Quinn inside. Also, yeah, like the idea of, someone installed cameras into our house. Good news. Good thing there's no one related to Winter who's been casually letting everyone into our house at every fucking opportunity. If only.
It's so good. It's so bad. It makes no sense.
My next guess, by the way, my next prediction is next time we see the full gang of clowns, there's gonna be one more clown.
Whoa.
They're gonna fully have clownified Meadow. She's gonna get a whole helping of the gamer gas and turn full Joker. I think they make them.
You're called shots that the gamer gas turns people into clowns.
Interesting.
God, I wish. I already was calling it the clown juice when Winter was pouring the bath, so, you know.
There's actually different forms of the clown juice. It can be a liquid or a solid or a gas.
Some of it you can spray from a truck,
though.
and some of them you have to get out and like really get into it with, you know?
Yeah, and like the spraying of the lawn, I'm like, okay, so the gas coming out of the purge truck was to kill the birds, which again, killing birds to own the libs, as you do. Is the spray on the grass like to kill like snakes or other like squirrels? Like who is that for? Like that's not.
Yeah.
Here's what I think.
Also,
go ahead. Sorry, I was joking.
When they show the gas coming out of the gamer truck, it all just stays down. Is the other thing. So I guess my other concern is how are they killing birds with lawn applications and ground fog?
Yeah, I don't want to say too much, not even from spoilers, just because part of me is this like, this is not a well-written series, you know? Like, yeah. I don't know, you know? Part of these predictions, too, should be like, what's even going to not get resolved? I'm not even referring to anything from the season.
So do you think Meadow gets turned into a clown, or do you think it's like they like fill her up with enough clown that one just kind of gestates and pops out of her, and that's where all the blood comes from?
Well, you can't ask us because we know, so.
Oh, you know that the clown clown definitely just pops out of her. Got it.
See, the hamster.
Oh, does that mean a real little tiny guinea pig clown pops out of Mr. Guinea?
No, that's foreshadowing, you see? Like it's called thematic parallelism.
Bring the point back around.
Clown.
How diegetic.
This is a good show.
Holy shit. Yeah, I guess for predictions of where it actually is going from here.
Can I tell you what the name of the next episode is, by the way? Oh, I'm sorry. What's your prediction? Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Do. Please do.
Okay.
I'll use that.
Yeah. The next episode is titled 11-9.
Ooh, get it?
Shit.
Do you get it?
That'll fucking wake him up.
I can't believe we're being bankied right now.
Oh my god. So does that mean she's gonna fly some planes out of a building? That's amazing.
Oh my god. Is that your prediction?
Let me just reverse these bad boys out of here.
Allie's built different.
Clown juice can't melt steel beams. Come on.
God, fucking clown juice can melt literary themes is what I'm learning over the course of this show, though. God. The clowns are... So why is there another masked group along with the clowns? Are they in it together? Is the gamer juice just also happening? Are there multiple different things happening? It can't be... Is Kai indicating the gamers or the clown? Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I know that there's answers and none of them are going to satisfy me. That's the worst part.
What if I told you the potential existence of gamer clowns?
What if I told you?
Liz, I'm sitting right here.
A call-out post.
Well, until next time, y'all, we'll be doing episode 4, which is apparently named 11-9.
Yes.
Hell
Cool.
yes.
All right.